Hi, in this video I'm going to show you how to create a dot plot that connects together. So this is called a dot plot. This is basically made by a scatter chart, and what we're doing is we're comparing before and after, or making comparison between two attributes, two time periods. Say this is a Q1 and Q2. So we see our gray circles as Q1 and our blue circles as Q2. And there's a line that connects both of these, so it visually makes it easier to make that connection. So I'll show you how to create this. And I'm going to take this particular set of data here. I'm just going to take this range of data here, and I'll go ahead and describe this when I'm creating this, the separator Q1 and separator Q2, and this label column, these fields. And of course, these fields here, the description, Q1, Q2, I think they're pretty self-explanatory. So let's go ahead and copy this range of data. I'll go ahead and take from A1 to F8. Control C to copy, create a new worksheet, click the plus sign down here, create a new worksheet, and just go ahead and paste. You'll see that some of the text seems like it's cut off. Basically what it means is there's just not enough room to fit it. I can double click the column boundary area here and it'll auto fit, or I can select the whole worksheet. I'll just click this cell to select the whole worksheet and just double click one of these boundaries, and it will auto fit everything here. Let's insert our scatter chart. I'm going to click outside of this range of data, because if I click anywhere inside this range of data and went into insert and inserted the scatter chart, it's going to try to pick up the data here to guess what is going to be charted. So I'm going to click outside of here. So when I click on the insert the scatter chart, it's going to just take a blank. It's going to start from blank, and I can go ahead and input the series of data as is. So click on that. What I want is a scatter with lines. So the scatter with smooth lines and markers, that's what I want. I don't want the scatter. It'll just give me the markers in them by themselves and not connect them together. I want this one, so I'll click this one, and it's going to give me a blank chart. What I need to do now is start filling in the series of data. Let me go ahead and increase the size of this a bit, and I'm going to go under Design, click the Select Data command, and the Select Data Source window will come up. So now I'm going to add my series of data. Click on Add, and the first thing I'm going to add in the Edit Series window is I'll add the series name. This is going to be item 1, and the X values, I'm going to select these two X values, Q1 and Q2. And then for the Y values, let me go ahead and delete this. It's going to be separated Q1 and separated Q2. And the reason why that is going to happen is I want to have it where Q1 is 35% and the separator is 4. 4 is going to be the Y-axis. You can see they're both the same. 4 is for item 1, which is going to be the top. Item 2 is 3, which is going to be the second one here. Item 3 is 2, which is going to be on this 2 in the y-axis, and item 4 will be 1 in the y-axis. And that's the reason why we have the separator fields here, because they help separate each division of the items. So I'll click OK, and you'll see that it's going to chart it out. Let me go and click OK so you can see that. So now we see that we have our scatter chart. We have our first marker here, which is 35% and 4, which is the y-axis, and the second one at Q2 is 47% here and 4. What we need to do is do the same thing with the other items here, item 2, item 3, and item 4. So I'll add those in right now. So we go select data, click add, and then for series name it's going to be item 2, and series X value will be item 2's Q1 and Q2 values. And then series Y value, let me go delete that, is going to be separated Q1 and separated Q2, which is number 3. Click OK. Let me move this over here a bit. Click OK. And we're going to do the same thing for item 3 and 4. I'll go ahead and speed up the video so you don't have to watch me do this slowly, but it'll be a little bit quicker. Oh, it looks like I missed item 2 here. Let me go back to select data and go to select item 2, click edit, and let's see what I did. Oh, yeah. I only did C6. So let me delete this, press delete, and select item 2 again. Click OK. Click OK on this window, and we have our data here. Now you see that they're all different colors, and we're going to have to adjust that. We're going to make the line colors one color. We'll make the Q1 markers one color and the Q2 markers another color. But let's delete these grid lines first. I'm going to delete the vertical grid lines. Select that, press delete. Select the horizontal grid lines, and then press delete. I'll select the marker here. Select it. You can see they're both selected. Right click and select Format Data Series. And under the Format Data Series pane here, select the bucket, and then select Marker, and expand these marker options. And under the built-in, I'm going to make this 30. That's going to be a good size. Press Tab, and you see now they're both 30. I'm going to do it for all of these since I've got this particular pane open. Select this marker here, and do the same thing here, and make this all 30. And do the same thing here. Select this one, built-in, 30, and then the bottom one here, built-in, and 30. Since I've got this pane open, it'll be a little easier for all this. The other thing I want to do is make these lines all the same color. You can see that these lines, they represent the color of each of the individual series, but I want to make them all one color, kind of subdue it. So I'm going to go into the line here, and with the line, make it a solid line, not have it automatic. Make it a solid line, and probably give that a kind of a subdued color, this white with the background. And do the same thing for this one. So this is going to be the white to the background here. Same here. Click on that one. Click that. And this one, I'll go ahead and click on, actually, solid line, and click on that color. It already selected it, so that's that color. What I want to do next is go back into the marker and change these all to one color. All the Q1 markers have to be one color, and the Q2 markers all have to be one color, that same color. So I'll go back up into the item 1 here, and you can see as I selected the marker, both of them are selected. I just want one of them selected. So I'm going to click it again, and you notice that now that one is the only one selected. Go back into the marker here, and under the marker options, and under fill, I'm going to go ahead and select solid fill, and choose a color. I'll select another gray color. Let's try this dark gray here, and I'll do the same for this one. I'll select that one, select it, that one selected only, go under solid fill, select that gray. What you'll also notice is it kept the borderline color. You can see if you look a little closely, the border is that orange. I don't want that border. I'm going to click no line, and since I thought about that, let me go back here. There is a slightly blue border here. I selected it. I selected both markers. Select that again, so it just selects that marker, and click on no line, so it doesn't have a border. I'm going to do the same for the third one here, or item number 3. This is going to be solid fill. It's going to be that, and that's selected there. No line, so it gets rid of that line. Same here for this one. This is going to be solid fill. Since we had our solid fill gray last time, it picked that one and it selected it. But I don't want that orangey color, so I'm going to select no line. So that's gone. What I want to do now is do the same thing for Q2. Oh, one thing I forgot to show was for Q1, actually, this particular one is Q1. So that's wrong. I should not have done that. But I have to make note of that later on because Q1 is 94% and Q2 is 67%. So the 67% should be this one. But fortunately, when I clicked on this one, I didn't click on it twice, so it selected both of them and made the color changes accordingly to both of them. So I need to go back when I do Q2 to make that one the same color as the Q2 ones. So I kind of like this color. If I select this one and click it on again, this one's selected, and I just got to make note of that color. That's this blue color here, blue accent 1. And I'm going to have it where there's no solid line. I'm going to do the same thing for this one now. So I'm going to click on that, click it again, and have it solid fill, pick out that blue that I saw earlier, and also have no line, and do the same thing for this one. Click on that, click again, and this is going to be solid fill at blue. This is going to be blue. Oh, I can see that this is already selected for no line. So I got to make note of this one. This is the 67%, which is my Q2. So I'm not going to do it at that one. I'm going to do it at this one. right? So this one is the 67%. The 67% one is the one I want to do it. I don't want to do it at this one, right? So I'm going to click this, go under solid fill, and select the accent blue here, and make sure it's no line. And I've got my markers with the lines now. What I want to do next is put in the numbers for each of the markers. So I'll click on one of the markers here, right click, and add the data labels. So I'll click add data labels, that shows up. Click here, right click, add data labels. So that shows up, and right click, add data labels. So this shows up. Select this one, right click, add data labels, and that's going to show up. What I want to do now is make these data labels represent not the y-axis. You can tell it's the y-axis because that's 4, that's 3, that's 2, that's 1. I want to have it represent the values in the x-axis. So I need to click on each of the label text fields, right-click, and select Format Data Labels. It's going to come up into my Format Data Labels. I have my label options. What I want to do is select the x value and deselect y values and show leader lines. So select the x value, deselect those two, and I want to have this in the middle of my markers. So I'm going to go ahead and select center. Do the same thing for the other ones. Select my markers, select x value, deselect y value, deselect show leader lines, center. Do the same thing for this one. Select my marker. The other one is selected. Let me go ahead and slide the scroll bar over. Select x value, deselect y, deselect show leader lines, select center, and select the last one here, and x value here, deselect y value, deselect show leader lines, and center that. Now I want to do some formatting, and these are a little bit subdued. The text is black color font, and it's a little bit small, so I'm going to make them a little bit bigger. So select that, go under the Home tab, or the Home tab of the ribbon, under Font. Let me make this white color and also increase the size. Let me see how big we can make it. I think 16 was going to be it. So that's great. Take that one, do the same thing here. Select the white color font. I'm just going to type 16. 16, press enter. Do the same thing here. Select that. Click on the white color font. Type 16. 16, press enter. And here, white color font 16, enter. So let's see how that worked out. Let me click on that, and that looks okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add labels for each one of these dot plots with the lines. As you saw in sheet 1, we had our labels here, item 1, item 2, item 3, and item 4 for each of the dot plots. What I want to do is create that here. What you can do is you can go to insert a text box, and draw it out and reference item 1, or just type item 1 in there. And that would be fine if you had these limited amount of series of data. But what if we had 10 or 20? It becomes a bit of work. What we can do is use a label field and draw out a particular dot plot here in the 0%. So what we're going to do is plot out an x of 0%, but keep the y of 4, 3, 2, and 1. And we'll use the labeling feature for that here. So I'll go back into the chart, click in there. I've got my chart tools under design. I'm going to select data, and then I'm going to add a fourth series of data. Click on add, and I'll select the label series. Under series name, it will be my label. My x values will be here. My y values, let me go ahead and delete that, will be any one of these. I can select separate Q1 or Q2. I just need to select one of them. Click OK. Click OK. And now you'll notice that there is a line that goes from 4 to 1 on the y-axis here, and on the 0% on the x-axis here, it shows up. What I'm going to do is take that particular line and add a label to it. So select any of the points there. And if you find that it's hard to select, I selected that a little bit easier here. If you find that it's hard to select, what you can do is in the chart, you can go under Format, and there's going to be this current selection here. And it's going to be my label. So my series label is there. I click on that. You can see it's highlighted now. What I want to do then is right-click and add a data label. So when I add the data labels, it'll add the data labels for the y-axis. I want to select on those data labels, right-click, and format data labels. And you'll see that my pane is changed here. And I want to have the values from cells. So I'll select value from cells, and it's going to ask me my data range label. And what I'm going to do is select items 1, 2, 3, and 4 here. Click OK, and you see it shows up item 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm going to deselect this, and now I'm going to have this go over to the left. So now you see it's gone over to the left, but it looks like it's all kind of overlaid on top of the y-axis, and I'll show you how to get rid of that later on. But what I want to do is maybe make this plot area a little bit smaller. So I clicked inside anywhere within this plot area, and you can see the borders show up here. I'm going to take one of these squares and move it over here to the right, so it gives me a little bit of room. Maybe that's a little bit too much. Move it over here, and I'm going to take the y-axis labels. These it goes from 0.5 to 1.5. I'm going to adjust it a little bit first. So when I click on that, you can see that it's selected here. What I need to do, let me go into the axis options, and under the axis options here, I want to make sure that this does not go in increments of 0.5. So this is going to change this major increment to 1. Press tab. Now it goes in kind of whole numbers. And what I want to do after that is remove it. So after I change that, let me click outside and see how it looks. Let me press my label here and then press delete to get rid of it. Now you see that it's gone. Now I just have my labels. But I don't want that ugly marker here. What I want to do is I want to keep it, but I want to make it invisible. So I'll select on my series of data here and do some adjustments. So what I'm going to do now, and just make it like it doesn't exist. So on the line, I'll select no line. On the marker, I'll select none. And let me click outside and see how it looks now. It's basically disappeared. Let me close this pane here, and the rest of it is just a little bit of cleaning up, giving it a title, and also maybe a mini legend here. So click on the chart again. Let me make the plot area a little bit smaller here so I can put a title up here. It looks a little bit better. Click on this plus sign and add a chart title. It shows up here. I'm just going to take this particular text. So I'm just going to reference that text. This chart title is selected. Up here in the formula bar, press equal and just reference this text here. So it just says market share. So in case I want to change that market share of product, you can see it changed it already there, right? The next thing I want to do is I want to add a legend for this. You can see that if I did click here and added a legend, let me go ahead and add a legend here. It's going to add a legend kind of funny. It's going to pick up each series of data and add the legend and the previous colors that were for that each series of data. I don't want that. So another way I can do that is adding a text box and using the colors in the fonts to represent each of the. So I'm going to go into Insert, add a text box. Let me draw it out here, and I'll type in the text and do a little bit formatting later. So I'll just say Q1 versus Q2. Make this a little bit bigger. Let's see. That looks big enough. And that's a little bit too big, this box. Whoops, too small. Maybe I should just center it here. Let me center it. Let me middle line and center it. And for Q1, since we had gray, I'm going to make Q1 gray. So Q1 is going to be gray. Select just that one. Click on that. Whoops. So that was wrong. That filled in the box. Let me Control Z to undo that. Now I selected that and go under the font here, which is this font color. I'll make that gray. And then for Q2, you can see now it's gray. For Q2, I will make that one blue. So the font color is going to be this blue. Right? Now this versus text is a little bit too strong, so I'm going to see if I can unbold that. So maybe I don't want to have that one there. Maybe instead of a versus, I'll just put in a slash. Right? And now it kind of fits in there. I don't want this borderline, so I'm going to take that out. So under the formatting, the shape fill, the shape outline, I'm going to get rid of that. No outline. Right? So now that's gone. That box is gone. So all I need to do now is just move this over here, and now you have a visual cue that Q1 is this gray color and Q2 is this blue color, right? And so that is the way that we can create a dot plot that's connected. So this is a nice visual that you can take and you can paste it onto a PowerPoint, or you can use it as is on a dashboard, and it almost looks like a dumbbell. In fact, I think some people call this a dumbbell plot. This idea I actually got from Stephanie Evergreen. She's got a great blog that talks about data visualization, and she got a couple books out that are really great. So this is a great way that you can create a dot plot that's connected, and you can make comparisons between two things, in this instance Q1 and Q2, or you can do something like a before and after type of comparison. So I hope this helps. Thanks for watching.